Tulsa King, Season 1, Sunday, July 14th on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Catch up with WZMQ 19 News on your schedule. The latest 19 news and weather are available around the clock at WZMQ19.com.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Blakely. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, 2 years since the Supreme Court overturned the federal right to abortion. Protesters rally outside the court to defend abortion rights ahead of the presidential election this November. Plus, the Dickinson County Sheriff's Office will soon have some new recruits thanks to a state grant. We'll tell you how much the department is getting and what exactly it will fund. And severe storms across the central Midwest and plains leave millions underwater. Scenes from Iowa, Minnesota, and South Dakota. Your 19 News starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Air the radar looks quiet for now, but we might get some storms overnight.
Yeah, it's looking quite serious later on. Keep your eye over here. There, see that red blurb blob that's heading our way over northern Wisconsin. We'll see that later on this evening, starting off around midnight, especially for Gogebic, Ontonagon counties here in Marquette and the central locations. We could see it around 3 a.m. What that entails is frequent lightning. Heavy downpours are possible during these thunderstorms, and then chances of large hail and damaging winds. Just keep an eye on that, and I will time those events out for you with Futurecast after the break. Temperatures right now, though, in the 60s.
There. Protesters demonstrated outside the U.S. Supreme Court to mark the date 2 years ago when the High Court overturned Roe v. Wade. As the battle over abortion rights presses ahead, it's one of the top issues in the upcoming presidential election. Nicole Zaganga reports from Washington.
Outside the Supreme Court, abortion rights advocates railed against conservative justices' decision 2 years ago to overturn Roe v. Wade.
I'm here because I'm tired of my rights being stripped away from me.
Anti-abortion rights demonstrators were also on hand to mark the occasion and have their voices heard. 1, 2, 3, 4, Roe v. Wade is out the door. Nearly 24 states have enacted restrictive abortion laws in the wake of the so-called Dobbs decision that reversed Roe v. Wade after close to half a century.
Getting it back to the states puts the question where it belongs.
Former President Donald Trump hailed the change in a new podcast interview.
I got that done with the selection of 3 great justices. I got it done. And it was a big thing.
On the campaign trail, Vice President Kamala Harris made stops in Maryland and Arizona Monday, focusing on what the Biden-Harris team is framing as the future of reproductive freedom.
We trust women to know what is in their own best interests.
The campaign hopes abortion rights will resonate with voters in November and has organized dozens of events around the country to highlight the issue.
I see it as a fight for women's independence and their autonomy, and I see it as a human rights issue.
Now in Roe's wake, measures that would enshrine the right to abortion in state constitutions are on the ballot in several states come November.
Planned Parenthood announced today that it plans to spend $40 million ahead of the November presidential election in efforts to support the campaigns of President Biden and leading congressional Democrats. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court is wading into the culture wars, agreeing to take up a case involving care for transgender youth. The High Court announced it will review the constitutionality of a Tennessee law banning gender-affirming care for transgender minors, such as puberty blockers and hormone therapy.
These are teens who identify as transgender who are saying, but if I didn't identify as transgender, then some of these treatments would be available to me. So this is a violation of the 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause. You're treating similarly situated people differently, and you don't have a good enough reason to do so.
The outcome of the case could have a nationwide impact since more than 20 states have enacted laws restricting treatments for transgender youth in recent years. Arguments are set to take place in the fall. New at 11, the Dickinson County Sheriff's Office is getting a state grant to help fund new recruits. At tonight's county board meeting, the undersheriff announced the department will receive grant funding to send 5 new recruits to an academy in August. The office is awarded $24,000 per recruit, covering the training of 3 full-time and 2 part-time recruits. The undersheriff says the grant significantly reduces costs for Dickinson County and helps improve staffing levels.
Running a little short right now. We're picking up overtime and whatnot to make sure that we maintain our coverage levels, but it's not easy when you go 3, 4, 5 people down. So
we'll have more on tonight's meeting at WZMQ19.com. State fire investigators have released new details about a deadly fire in Iron Mountain last month. Investigators say the apartment fire that killed 1 woman and injured several others originated in the kitchen of one of the units. The fire at the 10-unit complex on H Street happened on May 17th. The woman who died was found inside one of the units. No issues were found with the building's utilities, and all units had smoke alarms. The exact cause of that fire, though, is still under investigation. People are already starting to load up on fireworks as we all prepare for next week's Independence Day celebrations. Most cities go along with state laws, meaning private fireworks can be set off starting this Saturday, June 29th. They're allowed to be set off from 11 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. until July 4th. But because July 5th falls on a Friday this year, that means fireworks can also be launched that day as well. In Marquette, police will typically begin with a warning to those lighting fireworks outside the normal hours.
If it's gone beyond that, or we've already given a warning, that type of a thing, the officers do have the discretion to confiscate fireworks that are on hand, and you could get a ticket with up to a $1,000 fine.
The city of Marquette plans to light its fireworks on July 3rd. Munising, Gwinn, and Iron Mountain are set to hold their firework displays on July 4th, along with other activities. Manistee, Escanaba, and Ishpeming will have theirs Saturday the 6th. For a full list of firework times across the UP, just head to WZMQ19.com. June 24th today is National Upcycling Day, but one Escanaba woman makes upcycling a part of her life every day. Jessica Shields is better known online as the Upcycled Hippie. She defines upcycling as reclaiming old or unwanted items to make something new. She uses scraps of fabric, thrifted materials, and other items to create clothing, blankets, art, memory bears, and anything else she's inspired to create. She says upcycling is a cost-effective and sustainable lifestyle change that anyone can make.
So many materials just laying around that you can use, like in your house. When I first started, I made a purse out of a pillowcase, sheet, a curtain, and a rug. Everyone's all about new, 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 when we have so much laying around that's old that can be turned into new.
You can learn more about the Upcycled Hippie and see more of her designs at WZMQ19.com. Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after this break. Plus, rip current dangers around the country, claiming multiple lives already this summer. What beachgoers should watch out for. And celebrating creativity. A look at some of the family-friendly events during Marquette Art Week this week. We're back in just 2 minutes.
Amy Doyle reports at 6 and 11 on WZMQ 19 News.
Direct.
Don't you ever look up at the sky and roll your eyes. You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Realistic.
I will maybe have a tendency to
spend too
overindulge.
much and won't be able to pay your rent. That's the problem.
He holds the line.
I resent it, and I resent you for doing it.
Powerful.
I don't know where you've been, but you're going to respect this courtroom. I'm going to throw you out real quick.
Mathis Court is in session.
Weekdays on WZMQ CBS.
John's Auto is still your #1 source for a pre-owned vehicle. Our standards are still the highest. We have the cleanest hand-picked inventory around. That's what we're known for. John's has built a legacy over the years, if you will, and for us to be able to jump into the service industry, the detailing industry, we provide quality service, timely, reliable, trustworthy, just like John's has for years in car sales.
Come on down to John's Auto and see what we're all about. Sales, service, and detailing.
Here's your WZMQ CBS This Is Home community calendar.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
That's right, Jack.
Weeknights on CBS.
The world's longest running prank show is back. Just for laughs, gags.
Now, award-winning WZMQ 19 First Warning Weather with Air Stasic.
A little rainbow spurt earlier this evening, courtesy of Borto. Thank you for sending that in. If you have any photos of the weather that you'd like to share, make sure you head to our website, WZMQ19.com. Go to the weather page, and there is a little box to upload those photos and videos. This evening here in Marquette, we'll see some dicey conditions as far as rain and possible thunderstorms starting around 3 a.m. Let's take a look. Most of that activity has been to the west of us, especially in Minnesota, as well as Wisconsin. And then taking a look at when it could hit your area, well, on Tanagan around 11:40, so pretty soon. And then Ishpeming a little after midnight, it could get quite windy and rainy out there. So taking a look right now across the UP, fairly clear conditions until we hit around 1 a.m. Take a look, especially if you have in your area, it's that dark red or pink. Those are those very severe conditions that could be possible. So there's a chance of some wind damage moving around, as well as hail could be very large. So make sure you go check on those pets if you have any outdoors. And then taking a look at 4 a.m., we'll see those showers and thunderstorms in the central location. So very early showers and precipitation before things kind of slow down in those morning hours that we're used to, around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Even 5 a.m. it's going to be a little bit more rainy on the east side, and then sunshine. We'll see sunshine for most of the day after that, and clear skies for the evening. Wednesday, we'll start with similar conditions as far as cloud coverage and then rain showers down south. It's looking not as severe as we could see this evening or the early hours of our Tuesday. Maybe some sprinkles along the central locations midday, and then eventually that is going to clear out, as well as those clouds. We'll say goodbye to those around 7 p.m. Should be a nice evening in case you want to go out to a social district and then celebrate that. Thursday, we're looking at mostly sunny skies. I do have to mention on our Tuesday, it's going to be a hot one, as well as some chances for sunburns. Let's look at those temperatures across the UP. 84 Iron Mountain, you're the winner with the big score as far as temperatures go out of these 7 cities. Marquette will be around 82 degrees, and that UV index is going to be very high, even though we'll have some clouds out there. Muggy conditions, yeah, they're possible. Remember, you don't want the O face or the straight face, but we do have some of that heading into our Tuesday. Eventually that will creep on out by Wednesday, and we'll be back into those cooler conditions as far as not feeling like sticky icky, right? 7-day outlook for Marquette. Our high tomorrow close to 82. We'll drop down though on our Wednesday.
Thanks, Air. Dangerous flooding continues to impact millions of Americans in parts of the Midwest. At least one person was killed in South Dakota due to the floodwaters, and evacuations have been ordered in parts of Iowa. Jonah Kaplan has the report from Spencer, Iowa.
Historic rainfall is causing rivers to swell in parts of the Midwest.
I think the term people are using is unprecedented.
In Minnesota, Governor Tim Walz activating the National Guard to help residents in Waterville, while officials kept a close eye on possible dam breaches in low-lying areas.
Minnesotans are tough and our communities are strong, and we will get through this together.
Aerial video shows the extent of devastation in Iowa, where Governor Kim Reynolds declared a disaster for 21 counties.
At this time, it's estimated that at least 1,900 properties
are impacted and hundreds have been destroyed.
In the town of Spencer, streets have turned into rivers, leaving residents with nowhere to go. All this water is from a historic crest from this river that's moved well beyond the bridge. You can see it's covered this entire stretch, many businesses. There are neighbors on each side. And in South Dakota, at least one person was killed after heavy rains and flooding inundated the eastern part of the state. And floodwaters there continue to pose a threat. Officials in affected areas are working with the federal government to deliver assistance to hard-hit areas as the severe weather threat shifts east.
The severe weather also spawned tornadoes that struck southern Wisconsin over the weekend. Here at home, downtown Marquette is celebrating creativity this week with the return of the annual Art Week. A free art and educational experience today was all about forest and fungi. Local artist Todd Carter and the UP Land Conservancy hosted the free event at Shiras Park today. Carter gave a presentation on forest ecology, sharing about trees, nature, fungi, and how it's all interconnected. Attendees were also given some art supplies so they could sketch or draw surrounding nature, and then they were led on a short nature walk.
And there's nothing more important than community. And this is just a great way to come out, meet some of your community members, enjoy the gorgeous day that we have, and learn more about your surrounding environments, learn more about the surrounding community. And it's just a great way to come and get outside and learn about art.
Art Week continues through this Saturday. For more information, just head to WZMQ19.com. Also for Art Week, 2 Marquette organizations partnered today to hold a free workshop for kids. The Marquette Maritime Museum teamed up with the Liberty Children's Art Project for a workshop today. The event, which is in its 8th year, allow kids of all ages to come out and paint the scenery outside the museum. The kids were supplied brushes, paint, and a canvas, and were allowed to sketch or paint whatever part of the museum they wanted.
And any kind of arts and culture for kids is really important. It just makes them happy, lets them be creative. Creativity is really important for children.
And the UP Children's Museum is also helping make Marquette a little prettier this week. Tomorrow for Art Week, the Children's Museum is holding Paint the Downtown with Love. It's also a fundraiser. Community members of all ages are invited to the Marquette Commons to grab some paint and a brush and cover the sidewalks with some art. Anyone who participates also has a chance to win some prizes for the best art in adult, children, and family categories. The museum's executive director says it's a great way for families to get involved in Art Week.
Having our little piece of Art Week where we can really involve the kids and families in a fun way, I think is why everyone keeps coming back. It's a nice way to come out. You can spend 20 minutes, you can spend 2 hours, whatever you want and whatever amount of time you have to do it.
Paint the Downtown with Love will be tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it is free to participate in. The Children's Museum will provide all of the art supplies. A Marquette nonprofit is supporting women and letting community members strut their stuff. The Marquette Women's Center kicked off its annual Nifty 250 fundraiser this weekend with a parking lot party, a raffle, food truck, and for the first time, a fashion show. That fashion show included 20 models, each with their unique outfit that they curated from pack rats. And they also had a word of empowerment that they carried down the runway. The Women's Center Development Director says it wasn't the clothes, but the models' unique stories that helped make the show special.
We all bring our own identity, and we wanted a chance to provide that opportunity for our participants and our models.
WZMQ 19 was a proud sponsor of the Nifty 250 fashion show. Anyone interested in helping out the Women's Center can head to WZMQ19.com. The past few days have been deadly at Florida's Panama City Beach, where at least 5 people died after they were caught in rip currents. In North Carolina, lifeguards say they've rescued more than 150 people over the past 5 days. And in New York City, 2 teenagers are presumed dead after they were reported missing at a popular beach. Christiane Benavides has more from Panama City.
I'm still trying to process.
Jayla Ray's brother, Jamunde, was one of 3 men who drowned after being pulled out to sea in a rip current at Panama City Beach on Friday evening. His sister now treasures the sunglasses he was wearing the day he died.
Putting them on, I cry. I cried and I cried and I cried.
She also lost her 24-year-old cousin. The young Alabama fathers are among 7 people who were killed in rip currents in the Sunshine State just in the last 5 days.
We won't see him walk through the door physically. You know, he won't be able to tell us about his trip.
Another young man drowned Sunday after he was dragged into a dangerous rip current at the same beach. And on Thursday, Pennsylvania parents Brian Warder and Erica Wishart drowned off Hutchinson Island while vacationing with their 6 children. 2 of their teens tried to help, but could not. Panama City Beach Safety Director Daryl Paul says people often have no idea they're about to walk into a rip current.
What makes it difficult is that this water doesn't look fast. It looks safe. You know, people will get in this water.
The main message from beach safety officials is follow those warning signs. If you see that there are 2 red flags out, stay out of the water.
I just hope that people are heeding the warnings of the lifeguards and the flag system.
Jayla Ray is hoping her brother's and cousin's death will not be in vain.
Do your research on the water, the warning signs, the flags.
Double red flags were flying on this beach, and people were still going into the water at their own peril.
Panama City Beach safety officers urge anyone on shore to first call 911 before trying to go into the water to save someone in distress. They said in all of the recent drownings at that beach, people ran into the water before calling for trained professionals who may have been able to save those swimmers. Still ahead tonight, doctors research new ways to improve kidney surgeries. Hear from a man who underwent the knife completely awake.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Store your tools and organize your garage with our wide selection of Master Force storage products. They're heavy duty and designed to last a lifetime. Get this tall garage storage cabinet for $499.99 after rebate. Check out our great selection of Bright Lux lights. They're perfect for illuminating both your indoor and outdoor spaces. Get this 12-foot LED color changing string light for just $999 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
The wait is over. England Furniture's quick shipping is back at Kirkish Furniture. Choose your style and fabric and receive your furniture in as little as 30 days. Browse our in-stock selection or let our staff help you customize the perfect sofa or chair. Plus, 1 year free financing and free delivery.
America's Got Talent judge Howie Mandel.
My hobby is I take pictures.
I love pictures.
I took this one from the back hall.
Oh, you take?
Yeah.
Then get in the game with the Jennifer Hudson Show. Stand on up, audience. I got a little surprise for you.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, tomorrow at 5 on WZMQ TV CBS, followed by 19 News at 6.
Why didn't we do this last year?
Before you were preventing migraine with Qulipta? Remember the pain? Cancel plans? The worry?
That was then. And look at me now.
You'll never truly forget migraine, but Qulipta reduces attacks, making 0 migraine days possible. It's the only pill of its kind that blocks CGRP and is approved to prevent migraine of any frequency, to help give you that forget you get migraine feeling.
Don't take if allergic to Qulipta. Most common side effects are nausea, constipation, and sleepiness. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Qulipta, the forget you get migraine medicine.
Top investigators and police use the latest forensic science to uncover the truth and solve real cases. The devil is always in the details. Forensic Factor.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Sarah Blakely.
This week, McDonald's is launching a new $5 meal deal as more restaurant chains try to get back inflation-weary customers. Kenny Choi has more on the changes and the complaints.
Americans crave fast food, but with higher prices, more and more simply aren't loving it.
It's expensive when we have to feed the whole family.
How do you know that? Yeah, what makes you say that?
Because the prices go up like every year.
Nearly 2/3 of fast food customers say they felt sticker shock at the counter this year. The cost of a quick meal is outpacing inflation, with prices up nearly 5% from a year ago.
Such a big jump recently. Maybe we're splitting meals more often, or we are a little bit more aware.
To fight the inflation fatigue Americans are feeling, McDonald's, Burger King, and other chains are launching combo meal deals. Starbucks is also offering a discount pairings menu.
This is not a war against one another. It's really just a response to grocery to get some of those customers back, particularly the lower income.
Hi, welcome to Taco Bell.
Fast food chains hope these bargains boost sales as companies try to offset their own higher food and labor costs. But customers may need to grab these deals before they're gone.
This $5 national meal, it's a temporary thing. It's just, I doubt it's going to last more than a month.
And according to a recent Lending Tree survey, 75% of people in the U.S. eat fast food at least once a week. So America is still hungry for a quick meal.
In health news, a drug used to treat type 2 diabetes may also help people with sleep apnea. Researchers at the University of California, San Diego say the drug called tirzepatide led to a significant decrease in the number of breathing interruptions during sleep. More testing is needed to examine the long-term impacts, though, of taking the drug. And losing weight, of course, can be a lifesaver. New research at the Cleveland Clinic shows bariatric surgery performed on obese people significantly lowered the risk of major cardiovascular issues and sleep apnea. The Obesity Medicine Association reports that about 70% of adult patients with obstructive sleep apnea have obesity. A young Chicago man is the recipient of a new kidney transplanted while he was awake. Jared Hill shows us the surgery that could open doors for patients at higher risk for general anesthesia.
Are you awake, John? Your renal failure is cured, my friend.
Let's go.
It's not every day a patient and doctor have a conversation in the middle of surgery. Last month, surgeons at Northwestern Medicine performed one of the first awake kidney transplants on 28-year-old John Nicholas.
This kidney's going to make a lot of urine, John. Yeah. So you're going to have to drink a lot of liquids, okay?
Okay, can do.
Nicholas had chronic kidney disease since 2013 and says it was a matter of when, not if, he would need a transplant. His childhood best friend became the donor, and doctors approached Nicholas about the awake part about a month and a half before surgery.
I spoke with the two surgeons for about half an hour, and I was sold on the idea.
Nicholas was given a spinal epidural, nerve block, and light sedation. He says he didn't feel anything in his lower body during the surgery.
I asked, at one point there, hey, are you guys, when are you going to get started? And they were like, oh yeah, we've already been working for a while.
The best way I can equate it is a C-section for a woman who's about to have a baby.
Dr. Satish Nadig says awake surgery decreases the risk of general anesthesia and gets patients home faster.
It can really open the door to so many more people that have kidney failure that can make their major operation that they're going to undergo more of an overnight procedure.
Nicholas was discharged the next day with nothing stronger than an over-the-counter pain reliever.
Hopefully there will be a lot of other people like me.
Northwestern Medicine has already identified 5 more patients for the awake surgery and hope the method can improve more lives.
Doctors at Northwestern say the average hospitalization nationwide for a traditional kidney transplant is 5 to 7 days. At Northwestern, it's typically 2 to 3 days, and now even less with this awake procedure. We could have a round of some strong storms move through overnight tonight. Air has the outlook on that on the way. And all dogs are beautiful, but this one was just named the ugliest, and his owner is pretty proud of that. That's our final story next.
25 years of fun, and you're invited. It's the silver anniversary of the Downtown Marquette Farmers Market. Come celebrate with us every Saturday morning at the Marquette Commons. From 9 to 1, you'll find a wide variety of local foods, produce, art, and so much more. Plus, the Wednesday night farmers market on the 100 block of West Washington Street is back from 5 to 8. For more information, visit mqtfarmersmarket.com. The Farmers Market is presented by the Marquette TDA and sponsored by Flagstar Bank and WZMQ 19.
Step right up to the greatest show on earth. Riverside Chrysler is pleased to present EJ the Magnificent.
Pick a car, any car, and I'll make it disappear. Abracadabra.
It's Jeep season. Lease a 24 Jeep Compass for $299 a month. No smoke and mirrors here. It's our deals that make vehicles disappear.
Stop clowning around and get to Riverside Chrysler of Escanaba. Because buying a car shouldn't be a 3-ring circus.
I thought it was just a rash, but it had a bullseye ring around it. My doctor said it was a tick bite. Luckily, we caught it early.
Ticks found in tall grass around your home can spread Lyme disease and other illnesses, which can lead to chronic health issues. The CDC estimates nearly 500,000 people across the country are diagnosed with Lyme disease each year.
I didn't understand why my brother was having so many asthma flare-ups. Sometimes he couldn't breathe. Turns out a roach problem at home was triggering it.
Allergens left behind by dust mites, roaches, and rodents are a major driver of asthma attacks, especially in children.
When I had a fever, body aches, and fatigue, I never thought it would have been West Nile virus. All it took was a mosquito bite while gardening.
Mosquitoes spread West Nile virus and many other diseases, and they can breed in standing water around your home. Protect your family from pests. Get the facts at pestworld.org.
Taking a look at that updated radar, we've got that severe thunderstorm watch over there in Wisconsin as well as Minnesota. We'll see those storms in Munising around 12:30 this evening. Again, gusty winds, hail, frequent lightning, heavy downpours during that. And then tomorrow, moderate to high risk of rip currents down on South Schoolcraft beaches. So make sure you maybe look for an inland lake. Don't want that to ruin your beach day. Temperatures in Marquette around 82, 83 in Escanaba. Once those clouds clear out and that rain has stopped, should be fairly low risk as far as rip currents. So it's a nice day for the beach. And then looking at the rest of the week, we'll go up tomorrow as far as temps go, back down to 60s and 70s for the rest of the week. Hopefully that mugginess will not return. And then on Wednesday evening in Escanaba, check out that city band concert at 7:30. Should be sunny conditions.
Finally tonight, it's a contest where beauty is in the eye of the leash holder at the annual World's Ugliest Dog Contest at a fair in California. This 8-year-old Pekingese named Wild Thing finally became top dog. He had finished second place in the contest 3 times in previous years. Wild Thing is known for his very unique looks, characterized by his lolling tongue and unruly fur, and his owner, Ann Lewis, took home a $5,000 check. According to his bio, Wild Thing contracted distemper as a puppy from a rescue foster, causing his tongue to stick out like that. But apart from any physical issues, his owner says Wild Thing is happy and healthy. The World's Ugliest Dog Contest has been a highlight at the fair for almost 50 years and promotes adopting dogs from shelters. Wild Thing, you do your thing. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hard work is part of life in the UP. And no matter the challenge, people here just get it done. Our job is to find the facts you need and deliver them fairly and accurately. Because we understand that trust is in short supply. That's when experience matters. Sarah Blakely, leading the